Fantastic, Juan. Thank you. And hey, guys, how's everyone doing tonight? Appreciate you guys jumping on. Again, my name is Roberto Tavarez, out here from sunny Southern California. And tonight I get the privilege to welcome you to the future of the internet, guys. And the future of that internet is called ZETA, right? What ZETA has done is ZETA has partnered with Build Network to bring something to the market that honestly, guys, doesn't even exist, okay? What they're doing is that they're blending telecom, cloud computing, AI, and blockchain into one simple solution, right? Together, they're introducing a decentralized plug-and-play system that not only enhances the internet performance, but also gives everyday people the power to own and benefit from the very network they're helping build. Okay, guys, this is more than just innovation. This is a brand new model that's faster, more secure, and powered by you and I. Now, before we get started, I do want to point out that this presentation is for education purposes only. We will be making some forward-looking statements. There is no financial advice being given, guys, and as always, DYOR or do your own research, okay? Now, an important factor when evaluating a brand new company is getting an idea of the people behind the project, right? ZETA's leadership team includes experts with real accomplishments across tech, telecom, and innovation. And I'm just going to go to share with you just a few of their highlights, right? Right here, we have Mr. Kevin Ross. He's the gentleman that's spearheading ZETA. He's an entrepreneur who co-founded Vivint, one of the largest smart home technology companies here in North America, okay? He later went ahead and founded WeLink, a company that earned a lot of recognition when it outperformed industry giants like AT&T and T-Mobile to win a government contract at bringing high-speed wireless to underserved communities right here in LA in our own backyard. Now, I want to go ahead and talk to you on what WeLink does, all right? Again, we want to check out the company. We want to check out what's going on, right? Well, let's check out for a moment what WeLink does. WeLink delivers 2 gigs for both upload and download speeds, okay? And to get a better idea of how fast 2 gigs really was, okay, I went ahead and tested my own internet on a website called speedtest.net. Now, I do have one of the better internet connections, for my area, and my internet clocked in at 509 megabytes of download and 23 megabytes of upload. So that means what WeLink is currently offering is 4 times faster than the current download speed that I have, and a whopping 87 times faster on the upload than what I'm currently running here at home. Okay, so not only was WeLink a success, but they're also laying the groundwork for what we're doing now. Okay. Next, we have Dr. Paul Raj. This gentleman was an early inventor in the wireless space, okay, with several trademarks and co-inventor in over 80 different patents. His work earned him an induction into the U.S. Patent Inventors Hall of Fame. Now, billions upon billions of people worldwide have all benefited from his contributions to telecom, okay? If you guys have a cell phone right now in your possession, okay, your cell is using technology that he helped create. Now we have Mr. Nash Foster. This gentleman is an engineer who's held senior roles in companies such as Google, Oracle, and Cybertrust. He's a blockchain architect, okay, helping grow the next generation of Web3 platforms. Next in the middle, we have Mr. Alan Peacock. This gentleman is a pioneer who founded a company called SpaceMonkey, which was a peer-to-peer cloud storage system. Now, if you're familiar with companies like Napster and LimeWire, which were popular back in the early 2000s, then you have a pretty good understanding of peer-to-peer. Okay, these systems are what laid the foundation for this decentralized world that we're currently moving into. All right, now we have Mr. Richie Paul. This gentleman is a telecom analyst with over 20 years of experience in network design, business strategy, and consulting. He's helped multiple major telecoms develop competitive strategies and bring new technologies to market. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is just some of the highlights. These are just some of the accolades of this massive all-star team. Just keep in mind that between Mr. Kevin Ross and Dr. Paul Raj, they have over 110 patents and co-patents between the two of them, and they're just getting started. Now, ZETA is strategically positioned at the intersection of 4 of the fastest growing industries in the world: telecom, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, Web3, and blockchain, that represent a combined market of just over $10 trillion. Now, telecom connects billions of people around the globe through voice, data, and the internet. Okay, telecom has made it easier for the world to stay connected. And I think all of us on this webinar can agree that telecom pretty much has become essential in how we live and do business. And the demand for telecom is only continuing to grow. Now, we've all heard the term cloud or in the cloud, correct? Cloud computing, what it does in a nutshell is that it gives users the ability to access data, storage, and services from any device. How many times have you been, out and about, and then you get a phone call saying that you need a document that's on your laptop back at home? You see, well, with cloud services, you're able to basically go ahead and access that with things such as a Google Drive, which is going to go ahead and lead me into my next point. Okay. Now, how many of us shop at Amazon? Right? We've all know about the company. Amazon is a $500 billion company, and most people don't know that most of their revenue doesn't come from their selling platform. It actually comes from their cloud services, or their Amazon Web Services, is as they call it. Close to 65 to 70% of the $500 billion in revenue that Amazon creates is all through their cloud services. And cloud computing is booming, and is expected to grow annually by over 20% as more and more people and more businesses adopt the technology. Now, let's go and talk about AI for a moment. I don't think a day goes by that everyone on here on this webinar doesn't hear something that's AI related, whether it's marketing, whether it's technology advancements, and so on and so forth, right? AI for me is kind of having like that super smart best friend that has the answers to everything, right? I use ChatGPT. I mean, it literally stays on. I don't even think I really use Google anymore, okay? But here's the thing, AI is driving innovation in everything that it touches. It's reshaping industries. Okay, it's streamlining economies, and it's even personalizing your healthcare. Okay, as AI continues to evolve, the demand is only going to grow exponentially. Now we're really getting into my favorite industry, which is Web3, crypto, and blockchain. The crypto market has a current valuation of 3.5 trillion. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not even scratching the surface. Okay. How many of you can agree that as of today, 2025, cryptocurrencies and blockchain are here to stay, right? 10 years ago, there was very little adoption. People didn't understand it. A lot of people didn't really believe in it, okay? Fast forward to today, you no longer have to convince people of the importance of cryptocurrency as well as blockchain, okay? Here in the United States, we have the first crypto-friendly administration. All right. Multiple governments and some of the largest companies around the globe are already adopting or exploring ways to utilize blockchain, crypto, and Web3, and we're still in the very early stages. Now, here's some food for thought. The World Economic Forum published an article saying that blockchain could disrupt up to 867 trillion in traditional markets. I recently heard that the number was increased to over 1 quadrillion. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll be honest, I didn't even know what that was when I first heard it. I had to look it up. And quadrillion is just the next set of numbers that comes after trillion. Okay. And here's the thing. This is what sets ZETA apart, guys. This is one of the things that really excites me about this project, is that they're building, solutions across all four of these platforms with only one product. Think about that. Not a whole suite of products, not this massive, suite of things that you have to get with just a single product. Now, all the advancements in tech have given rise to data centers and centralized infrastructures, right? And these are currently being dominated by just a handful of monopolies. While most of us have already benefited, obviously, from the centralized model, it's also introduced a lot of limitations, starting with limited access. Right. Right now, around the world, there are approximately 2.6 billion people that still lack reliable internet service, leaving entire populations disconnected from the convenience that we've all really just gotten used to. Right. Data privacy. I don't think I need to elaborate a lot on this one. Our personal data is collected and sold with very little transparency. Centralized platforms can and have been exploited, hacked, and cyber attacked. And something else that a lot of people don't realize is that when we upload personal data to the cloud, companies like Google and Apple and Meta that we use for these services all have access to that information. Now, the high cost, right? Traditional telecom towers and data centers are expensive to build and maintain. And if building towers isn't profitable in certain areas, telecom companies simply flat out just don't do it, leaving large communities without reliable services or a connection. Now, the environmental concerns. This is probably one of the biggest ones. On top of the financial cost is the environmental impact. Excuse me. Centralized data centers consume a huge amount of electricity and create a pretty significant carbon footprint. Okay, data centers have such a big environmental impact that there are communities that have petitioned to not have them basically put into their backyard because they don't even want them in their cities. Okay, to put into perspective, a single data center can consume as much electricity as it takes to power between 100,000 to 200,000 homes. That's one single building just requiring that much electricity. Now, here's the thing, right? this current model just isn't sustainable. Okay, for those of us that are here in California, we all know that we suffer power outages, especially during the summer months when too many people are all using their air conditioner at the exact same time. As AI, telecom, cloud computing, and blockchain continues to grow, the demand for this electricity is only going to increase. Now, something else to point out is that centralized data centers also create what's known as single points of failure, which means that if one system goes down, let's say in a cyber attack or it's been hacked, it can disrupt services for millions of people in an instant. Now, now that we all know what the problems are, the real question is how do we fix it or make it better? There's a quote by a gentleman I've heard, several times throughout the years, and it's by a gentleman named Buckminster Fuller that perfectly captures what we're doing with ZETA and the BYLD network. Right? You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes that existing model obsolete. Ladies and gentlemen, ZETA represents that new model. ZETA is building a decentralized, scalable network supercomputer owned by the people, not by massive corporations. And ZETA is more than just Wi Fi, it's a powerful node with built in CPUs, GPUs, and a storage that works together to create a smarter, stronger infrastructure that does not rely on centralized data centers. Now, when you take a look at what ZETA is doing, it's actually pretty genius. ZETA is interconnecting small devices all across the globe. These devices work together to form a decentralized network that delivers better performance without the massive infrastructure, expenses, or vulnerabilities that come with traditional systems. Now, by distributing the network across many smaller nodes, ZETA significantly reduces both the build out and the operating cost. The average cost of a tower for a normal tower is between $30,000 and $50,000. The cost to put a wireless repeater on a roof is about $2,500. Now, here's something else: single points of failures just flat out don't exist, which means that the risk of centralized hacking or a system-wide outage is almost 100% eliminated, making the network obviously more secure. Not only that, but this decentralized model consumes a lot less energy than massive data centers. What it simply does, ladies and gentlemen, instead of having this one building where all this electricity is localized, is just dispersed across a much broader area, okay? Significantly reducing the carbon footprint. It's a greener solution that's scalable and doesn't add strain to an already overwhelmed power grids. This right here is what we consider sustainable technology. Now, we've already had people, several people in the team that received their ZETA kits, and the feedback has been pretty awesome, right? The setup is 100% plug and play. Just take the kit out of the box, plug it in, and once the light turns green, you're up and running. In our team chat, we have members that installed their kits, and they're sharing their before and after speed test. So far, everyone has seen a massive increase in the Wi-Fi speeds, and it's a pretty cool feeling to see the success stories already. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not even 30 days in, right? So what do you get with your ZETA kit? You're going to get two devices. The first one is a Wi-Fi 7 mesh router that delivers multi-gig speeds and increases the range of your Wi-Fi by up to 5,000 square feet. Okay, really just eliminating dead spots. Now, next, you're going to get an AI edge node that comes with a built-in central processing unit or CPU, a GPU, which is for AI and machine learning, and then 4 terabytes of storage that is capable of handling 70 TOPS or 70 trillion operations per second. Now, the project is really broken down into 3 phases, okay? Phase 1 focuses on getting the ZETA Wi-Fi 7 mesh systems into homes and businesses. As more people get onboarded and we're able to create enough density in an area, we can move to phase 2, which is now deploying wireless repeaters. And what the repeaters do is just tie everything together. Okay, a simple way to understand what the wireless repeaters do is to imagine just a bunch of, just dozens of villages scattered across the region, right? Each village, works on its own, is 100% independent. But, if we build roads in between each of those villages and we basically tie them together, we now make them into one larger entity. And that's exactly what the wireless repeaters do. It just really basically ties everything together and so on and so forth. Now, when we can move to here, this is where it gets really cool. This is phase 3. Okay, if you thought this was cool, okay, this is even better. Once we have enough XG wireless repeaters deployed, ZETA can now place mega sector nodes at fireback towers, which means ZETA now has the ability to operate as its own ISP or internet service provider, really just replacing whatever company we're currently using right now. Now, our business model is very simple, guys. It's scaled through decentralization, which means the more nodes deployed, the stronger the network becomes. And we do this through a direct sales model. Now, The direct-to-consumer model is one of the fastest and most effective ways to drive adoption. It allows everyday people to share ZETA and be rewarded for helping grow the network. Now, when a community is able to get behind a project, right, a really good project, a lot of times it doesn't take long for this thing to go viral. We're growing ZETA by creating a community of owners who are all invested in the success of the company. Now, ZETA is also creating multiple streams of revenue. So we're not just offering better Wi-Fi, we're building out a decentralized fixed internet, AI, cloud, and distributed data storage. Okay. I know there's a lot of tech terminology, guys, but here's the big picture. ZETA is creating a decentralized internet that combines multiple technologies into one single product. It provides secure cloud storage, AI, its own internet and cell service, which also increases your current internet capability. Okay, at a bare minimum, guys, you're getting much better services for all the devices that you have at home that rely on your Wi-Fi. All this while costing less, being more secure, empowered by you and I. Okay, best of all, ZETA rewards those who help build and grow the network. So many of the things that we use every day, right? TVs, home alarm systems, smart home devices, phones, gaming systems, all rely on Wi-Fi. It only makes sense for you to get the most out of the current system that you currently have now. Now, I think everyone on here has already heard about the 16 billion passwords that were stolen from Meta, Apple, and Google, right? This hack happened, I believe, now probably just somewhere between 1 to 2 weeks ago. It's now the largest recorded hack to date. How many of you have an account with one of these platforms? How many of you have an account with all three of them? I know I do, right? I have a Facebook, I have, Apple, and I also use Google for pretty much everything. This hack cannot happen on a decentralized network. Now, let me explain. If a hack were to happen, because it's not in a centralized building and spread across thousands and even hundreds of thousands of nodes all across the country, around the globe, okay, if a hack were to happen, it's usually only limited to the compromised node, not the entire network. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand, I don't know if everyone on here has grasped that, but this is an absolute game changer. What just currently happened with 16 billion passwords being stolen cannot happen on a decentralized network like the one we're creating here with ZETA. Okay. And not only that, guys, but from a business standpoint, there is a lot of potential and long-term sustainability in what ZETA is creating. Now, let's go and talk about our tokenized ecosystem. We're creating one of the lowest barriers of entry for everyday people to begin adopting and getting involved with crypto. Okay. It's as simple as plugging in a device. There's no complex mining rigs. There's no steep learning curve of all these different things that you have to do in all these wallets. It's really just plug and play hardware. And we have created an ecosystem that supports our users and contributors, making it a win-win for everyone involved. Now, with ZETA, guys, you're not just a consumer, you're now an owner, okay? Each node becomes part of a decentralized network supercomputer powered by 6G tech. Now I want to show you the collective power of your ownership. Guys, when you really think about this number, it's almost mind-blowing that it's a lot easier to achieve than I think a lot of us are going to give this thing credit to, okay? With just 0.2% global participation, we're not talking about 50% participation. We're not even talking about 1% participation, just 0.2% participation, okay? ZETA could generate over 1 zettaflop of AI processing power. Most of you, like me, when I heard zettaflop, had no idea what it was. A zettaflop is a billion trillion calculations per second, and this is over 20 times faster than the top centralized supercomputers today, okay? And here's the thing. This model isn't some wazoo concept. This isn't some crazy idea or anything else. It's simply the next evolutionary step in the internet. 10 years ago, this concept, there wasn't enough crypto adoption. People didn't really know about it. This would have been too hard of an idea to basically sell 10 years ago, okay? 10 years from now, well, guess what? Someone else is already going to be doing. So the timing of what ZETA is bringing to the table right now is 100% spot on. Now you earn ZETA rewards by contributing electricity, connectivity, and hardware. It's really that simple. I know some of you have asked, but hey, how much electricity am I going to be using? Well, the answer is really no more than the current routers that you're running right now. That's basically it. There's nothing more than that, okay? Your contribution to the network means that you will earn rewards daily, and all the services we talked about can and will be transacted with your ZETA rewards. Now, what this creates is an ecosystem where contributors that earn rewards have the ability to spend those rewards. Guys, I want you to take into consideration this very important point that I just brought up. I'm going to elaborate on it here in a second, okay? Node owners will be able to tap into services offered by ZETA. This creates what's called utility. And utility is just a fancy word for being able to use the tokens that you earn, right? Now, let me explain. Imagine I gave you $1 million in cash, right? That'd be absolutely fantastic, right? I'm sure a lot of guys would be raising their hands. Absolutely, I'll take it. But here's the thing: what if you're on a deserted island with that briefcase full of money and you have nowhere to spend it? Right, that money would technically have no value to you. Right, it would probably be easier for you just to burn it to help you stay warm. Now, this is the problem, and this is the problem with the majority of tokens today. Right, they're hyped up, creating temporary value, but they have no real use. Now, Zeta solves this by giving node owners the ability to use the rewards that they earn to basically use those for real services. Savings is new earnings, right? We all hear Mr. Sam Bean say that on a regular basis. How many of you wouldn't mind saving your cash and using your Zeta rewards to pay for things such as your internet, such as your cloud services, AI, and cell services, things that you are already using? Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. As more people begin to transact with Zeta, this can potentially drive the value of the rewards and create real liquidity driven by genuine activity, not hype. And this right here, this is what excites me the most is the fact that not only do you get rewarded with a certain specific token, guys, but you also have the ability to share it outside of just speculation. This is what makes this project just probably the best thing that I've seen in the decade that I've been involved in cryptocurrency. Now, today, nearly 2 kids in the world still don't have an internet access, right? Cutting them off from education, opportunity, and the modern digital world. Now, the Zeta Impact Program is our way of changing that. Every time someone purchases a Zeta kit, a portion goes to subsidizing internet access for underserved communities, helping connect a village, a school, or a home that didn't have internet access until our company came along. No, and it's not about charity, guys. It's really about leveling the playing field. You see, while you're enjoying better services at home and becoming part of a decentralized network, someone else gets their very first connection. And guys, it's crazy to think about, but by sharing and growing Zeta, us here at Build can have a direct impact towards the adoption of Web3 and blockchain. Think about that, guys. The type of project that we have at our fingertips right now means that us here in the company can have a direct impact towards the adoption of cryptocurrency here in the near future, guys. It's actually pretty exciting when you think about it. Now, here's something else worth noting. Zeta isn't just talking the talk, guys. They're walking the walk. The company itself was structured as a PBC, or a public benefits corporation, which means that it's legally committed to creating positive social and environmental impact. So the benefit goes back to the community, not to shareholders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're not building on speculation. We're building on real world value, real world assets, and real utility. And here's the thing: these models have already been proven, and I want to go ahead and give you 2 use cases. Now, before I continue, I do want to say that there is no affiliation with either of these 2 companies. But what I want to point out is that they both have amazing stories in which both of those companies introduced a new model, a new way of doing things, making the old ones obsolete. Okay, and they both achieved a great deal of success. Now, the first one is about a company called Gala, which launched a blockchain-based gaming platform in 2020. Early adopters were able to purchase and host nodes like we're doing here with Zeta, right? Node owners were rewarded with Gala tokens for supporting the blockchain. Now, as Gala Games grew and those tokens gained more utility, it was able to get listed on an exchange. Now, when it did, it created several success stories. The best part is those node owners continue to earn Gala tokens to this day, several years later, for the work that they did one time by basically just joining the network. Okay. The second use case is more about the similarity of what Zeta is doing today and what deregulation that happened back in the early 90s. Now, decentralization and deregulation, they sound similar, but they do have two very different meanings. But here's the thing, guys: decentralization and deregulation, they share a common parallel in which both of them shift the control from a central authority and open the market for others to participate. Okay. And in the process, it also creates a massive transfer of wealth. Let me explain this. Okay. Just like the internet today, the telecom industry was monopolized by a small group of companies back in the late 80s, early 90s. Okay. When deregulation took place, a new company called Excel Communications offered everyday people like you and me an opportunity to own a small piece of the telecom network and earn every time someone made a phone call. Think about that. How many of you would have loved to get paid every time somebody picked up their phone to make a call? Okay. That business model created over 1,000 undocumented millionaires. Ladies and gentlemen, over $1 billion of wealth was transferred from the telecom monopoly to people just like you and me who saw the vision and acted. And ladies and gentlemen, please, I encourage you, DYOR, do your own research, look up these companies. I can't really go into numbers, but I do want you to go ahead and check this information out, because what they created was absolutely extraordinary, and it's just an overall great story. Now, ZETA is doing the exact same thing, but this time with the internet itself. Just how people were paid on every phone call in the Excel model, the ZETA model rewards its node owners every time data flows through the decentralized network. Now, here's a crazy fact for you, right? I'm a very green type of personality. I like facts. I like data, right? Excel was able to create that much success, and they only operated in 3 territories. Okay, they operated in the United States, in Canada, and Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the possibilities of what we can create here with ZETA when we share it with the entire planet, with something that everyone uses, and those that don't, they can benefit from what we're offering, guys. And we have the entire planet as a playground. Now, if you're realizing, the potential what ZETA brings to the table, I want to show you how to benefit by helping grow the network. Okay, we have 2 different compensation plans available. The first one is for a ambassador. A ZETA ambassador is someone who refers ZETA to others, but is not a member of BYLD, right? ZETA has created a 2-level affiliate model that incentivizes people to grow the network while earning both upfront income and long-term token rewards. Now, by purchasing and connecting your ZETA kit, your node will begin earning token rewards, right? You're at an upfront commission, and you unlock the ambassador affiliate program that pays on 2 levels: a 67% match on level 1 and a 33% match on level 2. So for this example, guys, I just want to go ahead and just keep the math simple. So we're going to say all the nodes, all the ZETA nodes, yours, mine, Juan's, everybody's nodes, they all basically earn 100 tokens per day. Let's say you refer your friend Michael. He purchases ZETA kit. You earn $125 for the sale for helping share ZETA. And you're going to begin earning a 67% match from the tokens that Michael's node produces. Now, again, each node earns 100 tokens. So you getting a 67% match means you're getting 67 tokens for this example. Now, we're not taking tokens from Michael, but you're receiving a match from what his node produces. Now, so you earn 100 tokens from your node, okay, and you earn 67 from Michael's each day. And this happens every single day. Now, let's say Michael gets excited, becomes an ambassador himself, and tells his neighbor Juan, who also purchases his ZETA kit. Because Juan is on your second level, you're going to earn a 33% match from his node, which is 33 tokens for a combined total of 200 tokens per day. Ladies and gentlemen, what if you get excited and tell a few more people about decentralizing the internet? There's no limit to the amount of people you can refer, and you can create a large of a network as you want, where you're going to earn a 67% match from the nodes on level 1 and a 33% match on the nodes on your level 2. And this is where it gets better. Ladies and gentlemen, these nodes, these rewards continue long term. How long is long? Well, let me ask you a quick question. How long do you intend to turn off your Wi-Fi? How long do you intend to keep your Wi-Fi on? That's pretty about how long, guys. Now, the second compensation plan is for BYLD members. BYLD members get the same $125 commission and the same 2-level affiliate rewards, but BYLD members are going to earn the coded bonus, which pays up to $75 and down through 5 generations, earning more for the same amount of effort. And here's another exciting part, guys. For those of you that may be unfamiliar with the coded bonus and how powerful this form of compensation is, just understand that it's the same compensation model that was used by Excel Communications to help create the 1,000 documented millionaires. We do have a separate video that really outlines the power of the coded bonus, and just get back with the person that invited you, and you can check that one out as well. Okay. For those of you that are seeing BYLD for the first time, again, encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to find out more about BYLD's high ticket brokerage as well as the BYLD membership. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with this, right? ZETA represents a global opportunity built around something nearly everyone already uses, the internet. Okay, those who do not have access are waiting for you and I to help fix that. ZETA solves multiple real-world problems across 4 of the fastest growing industries, all through one single product. Think about that, all right? ZETA has an all-star team of tech gurus and entrepreneurs, and has partnered with BYLD Network, one of the strongest direct sales organizations in the industry. And now people like you and me have the chance to be a part of something bigger and get rewarded for helping build it. Now, here's the thing. How many of you recognize that the first internet boom created massive wealth for early adopters who took vision and took action, right? If you missed a wave, you know what? It happened, not a problem. Quite honestly, it's all good. All right. You don't need to be right every single time. You don't need to basically hit it out of the park every time you're up at bat. You only need to be right, ladies and gentlemen, just one time, one opportunity, one moment that really can change everything. Okay. And this right here, right now, is that moment. You're being invited to be on the front end of the second internet boom. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule tonight, for checking out this information. Get back with the person who invited you, lock in your node, activate your rewards, and let's build the future together. Appreciate you guys' time. Have a good one.